Morning, everyone. So glad you could join us again for Monday morning coffee. You see the K on my cup, huh? Greetings from New Berlin, Wisconsin. My brother and I just came from Grand Beach, the golf cart mass, and we're now spending a couple days with our cousins, Gary and Kay for Katie Gray. And we're at their house, and shortly we'll have mass together as well. So anyway, we just hope that you had a good weekend and a good week. I always pray for that. And hopefully they're all good. Continue to pray for our retired Vincentians in Perryville, Missouri, and also some special friends of the mission, need of God's healing miracles. So we'd like you to remember Bill and Brian and Bob and Clarence, and remember Stan, Jack, and also remember Karen and Lisa and Louise, Loretta, and Pat and Patty and Sharon. They're in need of God's special graces, so continue to pray for them. Today is an interesting feast. It's a celebration of one of the major basilicas in Rome, and it's St. Mary Major, and it's one of those four major basilicas in Rome. So if everything shut down, there would still be prayer and worship at those four churches. So my reflection is on the beauty of belonging to a church, and so much that the faith that we need that sustain us in church. Over the weekend, I always kid about it, that you have all these people that come on a golf cart to church. Well, it's only a summer thing, but it's their church, and it's because people come together with a sharing of a faith, and they want to have Eucharist. And so we gather every weekend, and they all come in golf carts. And it's no different than the Mass that Dick and I will have with our cousins. It's because of the faith we have and the belief that this is something special, this Eucharist. And so that's what we're about. And I look on this celebration as just one of those wonderful celebrations for church in the world. And so I ask you to think about your church and how you're involved and how important it is to you. Well, since my brother is here, he's going to share some of his thoughts as well.
My brother asked me what I was going to talk about. I said, I have no idea. No idea what I'm going to say. Well, we're going to do this video, in Wisconsin. And I said, yeah. So what are you going to say? I said, I don't know. So he said, well, I'm going to talk about St. Mary Major and church. So I thought, I grew up in a town that had 5 churches, Catholic churches. And they were ethnic. Each ethnicity had their own church. But they all took pride in how that church looked. And almost around Holy Thursday, they had competition of which church looked the best, decorated. I thought about that today, and why would you go? Why do people go to church? Why? So I thought, well, maybe it's because our parents and priests taught us the importance of church, and I trusted them. So I trusted they were telling me the truth, so I went to church. And I believed in the Eucharist, and I believed in all those. So I get down to the bottom of all this is that I was given a gift of faith by God. So I'm going to tell you this story. My brother knows this story, but maybe you haven't heard this story. But many years ago, I was doing Mass in Kansas City for the Denver Broncos. They came in, and as you know, every NFL team has Mass before each game. Anyway, the Broncos, this was a Monday night game playing the Chiefs, and this was Monday afternoon. Now, they don't have to go to Mass, but they do. So the Mass was at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and I would set up the hotel room for the Mass, and this player came in, and I looked at him, I knew who he was, and he came in, now they could come in sweats, but he came in a 3-piece suit, he had a silk tie, silk handkerchief. He came in the last row of the hotel, he knelt down for the whole Mass, and had every response memorized. He was so into Mass that I was distracted trying to say it. So anyway, after the Mass, I went up to him, and his name was Bill Romanowski. He was a linebacker for the Denver Broncos. I went up to him after. I said, Bill, what's the deal on this? He said, you know, Father, at the end of my life, God ain't going to ask me, hey, Bill, did you get the 3rd Super Bowl ring? He ain't going to ask me that. He said, you know, at the end of my life, he's not going to ask me, hey, Bill, how many tackles did you make? He said, he ain't going to ask me that. He ain't going to ask me, hey, Bill, how much money did you make in the NFL? He ain't going to ask any of that. He's going to ask me one question. Father, he's going to ask me this question. Bill, what did you do with the faith I gave you? So he said, that's why I'm on my knees. That's why I'm in this church, this hotel for Mass. So I thought of that. You know, here's a football player idolized by all those Bronco fans. But at the heart of his life was, I better do something with my faith. So today I just thank God for my parents and the teachers and priests who brought me to baptism, and I got the gift of faith from God. And hopefully that I will continue to use it for the rest of my life. And I hope you too. Now at the end of our video, we always say our mission prayer. So take out your mission prayer and say it with me. Divine Savior, transform me into yourself. May my hands be your hands, may my tongue be your tongue. Grant that every faculty of my body may serve only to glorify you. Above all, transform my soul and all its powers, that my memory, my will, and my affections may be the memory, the will, and the affections of you. I pray you to destroy in me all that is not of you. Grant that I may live but in you and by you and for you, and that I may truly say with St. Paul, I live now, not I, but Christ lives in me. Hey, thanks for listening and watching, and look forward to our Wednesday reflection on the website. Thanks.